Good morning. I'm John Crouch and I worship at All Saints in Barwick. This morning's reflection is taken from St Matthew's Gospel, chapter 28, beginning at verse 8. So they left the tomb quickly, with fear and great joy, and ran to tell his disciples. Suddenly Jesus met them and said, "Greetings." And they came to him, took hold of his feet, and worshipped him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee, and there they will see me." While they were going, some of the guard went into the city and told the chief priests everything that had happened. After the priests had assembled with the elders, they devised a plan to give a large sum of money to the soldiers, telling them, "You must say, 'His disciples came by night and stole him away while we were asleep.' If this comes to the governor's ears, we will satisfy him and keep you out of trouble." So they took the money and did as they were directed. And this story is still told amongst Jews to this day. I don't remember reading this section of St Matthew's Gospel before, so it came as a bit of a surprise. When reflecting on it, there were two things that came to mind. Firstly, it reminded me of the book by Frank Morison, Who Moved the Stone? I read it as a teenager, and it was one of the experiences that brought me to a belief in the resurrection of Jesus. If you haven't read it, I would strongly recommend that you get hold of a copy. In it, he covers all the possibilities about what might have happened at the tomb on that amazing Sunday morning. And, spoiler alert, he concludes that the only reasonable conclusion is that Christ rose from the dead. He argues that the two most usual explanations are that the disciples moved the body, or the Jewish Roman authorities stole the body. But neither of these really hold water. If the disciples moved the body, would they have suffered persecution and death for a lie? If the authorities stole the body, they could easily have discredited this troublesome group of zealots by producing it. The second thought I had was that here we have the story of Jesus' release from the tomb and the glory that is Easter. In our lives, we're being released from our own tombs. Lockdown is gradually coming to an end, and we will be starting to return to a normal life. The chance to go out and meet with friends and family, the possibility of holidays, restarting sports and activities, visiting pubs and restaurants. It's been a long and tedious experience being confined to our homes and the immediate environment. There have been some good things: a slower way of life, local walks, online church services, becoming more aware of our own neighbourhood, and saving money. On the other hand, I never want to sit through another Zoom meeting. We've lots of things to be thankful for. an effective NHS, vaccinations, all the workers who continued to keep our everyday lives going, friends and neighbours. So, as we celebrate Easter, let us also be thankful that we have come through this pandemic, whilst remembering those who died or still suffer. One of the things I always like to say is that today is the first day of the rest of our lives. So let's look forward positively to the future and resolve to live it in the love of the risen Lord. A prayer. Jesus, we know who moved the stone. Help us to move the stones in our lives so that we may emerge as living, loving disciples. Amen.